Hello friends, this is Music Man from his man cave, and it's war! War everywhere! And the Emperor's looking for a new apprentice. Who's it gonna be? We'll talk about it in a minute. Star Wars 3, Attack of the Sith. This guy, bad health plan, bad dental plan. Will Anakin fall for it? Will he take the deal? Well, let's discuss it. So, this movie is a spectacle to behold. Right away you can see that they are in top form with their digital effects. Obi-Wan and Anakin are fighting the war's going on out in space, and it is pandemonium. I mean, there are big ships exploding, and there's guys flying in space and twirling around, and you're like, wow, that's really, really amazing. How are they doing that? It's the best looking Star Wars to date. I mean, the special effects, people, kudos to you. I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic. However, I will tell you, this is the most depressing of the Star Wars episodes. As you watch it, you get more and more depressed, even though it has a tremendous spectacle and some of the best special effects of any Star Wars movie that I've seen. So Anakin is married to Princess Padme. No one knows. He's out on duty like a soldier with fighting the Clone Wars with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and in the beginning of this, he is saving the day. He flies onto a spaceship. He's there to save the Emperor, who conveniently is on a spacecraft, and we all know that the Emperor, there's something about him that he's evil, or that there's something really wrong with this guy. Anyway, so they have an elevator fun time where they're going up and down elevators, and they find the Emperor sitting in a big chair like he's sitting there trapped, and Count Dooku shows up. So Count Dooku dispatches Obi-Wan Kenobi like he's no big deal at all. He just chokes him and throws him and puts a big, takes the floor and puts the floor on top of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So Anakin fights him, and Anakin dispatches him pretty easily, takes off his hands, and somehow Anakin's not picking up that the Emperor is evil. He's like, do it, kill him, do it. So he chops off his head. Pretty intense stuff for little ones. I'd say I was shocked that they even they had that happen and even showed that. Ooh, George Lucas, this is going to a dark place. So we know immediately this movie is going to a dark place. So Anakin goes back and he's with Padme, and he starts having these bad dreams. These dreams of Padme dying in childbirth. And the question is he dreaming what he's going to make happen? Or is he dreaming what the Emperor's putting into his mind? Now that will cook your brain right there. We don't know, because he his actions actually make everything that's happening start come to pass, and it's really, really awful. Now, the clones, of course, spoiler alert, the clones belong to the Emperor. They always did, and so there's a time in the movie that's just absolutely morbid. This movie just goes from one depressing thing to the next. He calls for all the Jedi to be destroyed. And so and it's really funny. It's 666, or I think it is. So the Emperor's the Antichrist, I guess. Anyway, all the Jedi are dispatched, but Yoda is too keen, and he's alert that he's about to be killed. So he chops off the heads of the clones. And Obi-Wan is riding a big lizard, and he falls like 250 stories into this water, which should have killed him, but it didn't. and he's fine, and he's still alive. And there's a fascinating robot guy that Obi-Wan dispatches named General Grievous that kind of reminds you of Darth Vader, except he has a big, like, heart showing through his armor, and he has a really raspy voice, and he's kind of disgusting. And we get to see some of him and Obi-Wan fighting it out. And that's a lot of fun. And then it just gets more and more depressing as Obi-Wan starts making bad decision after bad decision. The Jedi Council makes their mistakes with Anakin, and they don't deal with him correctly, and they bruise his ego, and they hurt his feelings, and he's already conflicted, and he goes to Yoda, and Yoda gives him bad advice because it's not an option for him to let Padme die, and it just starts getting darker and darker and darker and darker, and to the point where Anakin actually gives his soul to Satan. I mean, basically, he kneels before the Emperor and tells them he commits his allegiance to him or whatever, and lets him connect with him somehow in the Force powers or whatever. Pretty dark moment. And the Emperor's like, good. And everybody's laughing in the theater. I don't know why they're laughing when he keeps saying good and he sounds like a serpent or whatever. But it's basically the actor who plays the Emperor that kind of steals the show in this one. And so Obi-Wan goes and he kills younglings. The most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. He kills younglings. He kills the young Jedi. He kills the Jedi in training. He kills younglings? Okay. So let's move on from that horrible line that George Lucas, why didn't you have Harrison Ford around to change that line? Oh, he kills younglings. So Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi realize what's happened. Somehow the clairvoyant Emperor and Anakin didn't realize that they were being filmed. And so they see everything that they did on the holograms. And so Yoda goes to face the Emperor, and Anakin goes to face, Obi-Wan Kenobi goes to face Anakin. And the Obi-Wan Kenobi Anakin fight with the lightsabers is a light show. It is spectacular. It is amazing. It's on this planet, this lava planet. It's like they're fighting right in hell. Seriously, it's like they're fighting in hell. And then Yoda is cool as always. He goes to face the Emperor, and he actually shows that he's just as powerful, or more powerful than the Emperor, but he just happens to be at the wrong vantage point, and it's a stalemate. So the Emperor stays, and Yoda flees for his life. And the movie ends with Obi-Wan Kenobi defeating Anakin in the most sad moment in movie history. He catches on fire. All things come to fruition that we knew already was going to happen when we walked into this movie. It was all well done, and he is converted into Darth Vader. Put metal legs on, metal arms completely on. He has to have a machine on so his burned lungs so he can breathe. And the Emperor lies to him, the final lie, that he killed Padme, which he did not. Padme gives birth to Luke and Leia, names them, and promptly dies of heartbreak. I don't know how a person dies of heartbreak, but she does. Anyway, the movie ends with the two babies being given to, it's like, we know this place. They're given to Uncle Ben and Aunt Beru, and they're given to the Organas, on that one planet that's blown up right in the first movie that we see. And so we get to see a little bit of that planet. What a beautiful mountainous planet. Too bad that Darth Vader blew it to smithereens. So the movie is very depressing, and every time I watch it, like now, I'm going to have to watch now episode 4 just to feel like, to feel happy again, because it is a very dark, depressing movie. I would say that this is not appropriate for children under 13. It's just too dark. The material's too dark. After they're 13, you could discuss it with them and so forth. I think it could give small children nightmares, especially if you're protecting their heart and their mind. So that needs to be taken into consideration if you are going to let... this is not PG. This is PG-13, a hard PG-13. There's beheadings in this. There's demonic activity in this. It's evil. It's dark. And so I would give it a hard PG-13 and say that especially kids that are sensitive, hypersensitive, and have tremendous imaginations like I did as a kid, this movie would have messed me up. So you want to make sure that you take that into consideration as you watch let any little kid watch this movie. Otherwise, for what it was, for telling the story, I give it a 9 out of 10. But the reason I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is just because it's just so stinking depressing and dark. It's not the Star Wars universe that I like. So you watch it and you hate what happens to Anakin, you hate what happens to Padme. If you're a person that likes a happy ending like me, this is not the happy ending you're looking for. I guess the two little babies are beautiful and they give hope. But then you have to watch episode 4 or you'll be in a kind of a stupor for 3 days going, that was so depressing. So anyway, Music Man, going to watch episode 4 again. Signing off. Talk to you later.